Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this doesn't work. Let's get open for business here. My apologies. I did go first this morning, and because I was working on the other computer and the sets and stuff last night, I kind of screwed it up. The sound level. So I'm going to redo it, and hopefully we don't have the same issues that we had video earlier. Don't forget today, 4 o'clock, we'll be live streaming 4 to 6, talking about the Dallas Cowboys and things. We got E2 Blue. Hopefully some of you fans will show up so we can get our Dak Prescott shirt signed by you guys, because tomorrow I'm planning on sending it off and making its way around the country before we present it to Dak Prescott. So we'll be at Lucky Sports Bar in Theater on Manchester Lakes Boulevard in Kingstown, Virginia. So if you can, come on by, get some great wings and things, and hang out with the crew, get on air and things. So anyway, right now it is the calm before the storm. Starting Tuesday, we have the combine that starts working out. You've got the owners, the GMs, and everybody's in place, and that's when a lot of business will be transpired. Teams will start feeling at each other for trades and things like that. And this is when everything will really start to pick up, because you'll have teams that are going to be gutting their rosters to make some cap room, teams that need to get underneath the salary cap. So they'll be getting rid of players. Teams that are thinking we're going to draft this guy or that guy, so we're going to get rid of some of the older people. And you're going to have players that still have tread on the tires. They're going to be out there, and all of a sudden teams are going to say, wait a minute, that guy can help my team. Trying to maneuver and get cash together to be able to get those guys. So you're going to see a lot of big name players and a lot of jockeying for position. So it will get crazy. But what we're going to do today is I'm actually going back, because the Cowboys have gotten to the point where they say, you know what, we're not big into free agency. We don't believe that one player can make a difference on the team like that. So we're not going to spend for a guy. But I did a video yesterday talking about how the dynamics have changed. When you look at what the Rams did, bringing in a guy like Sue and some of the other players, Aqib Talib and things, they ended up being the Super Bowl. You look at the Eagles a year before, bringing in a lot of the people that they brought in. All of a sudden, those players like Jay Ajayi made an impact to bring them to the Super Bowl and a Super Bowl victory. And when we look back at what Amari did for this Dallas Cowboys team, it was literally night and day difference. That guy changed the narrative completely, because when you looked at what he did, just the Eagle game, the 3 touchdowns, Dak Prescott being able to throw for 455 yards, it was the difference maker that changed the mojo of this team and the insight. But I want to revisit, because we always listen to, First Take and Undisputed and First Things First and all these different shows from the experts, and always tell us what's going to happen and what the team should do and so on. And I like to play this stuff, and I like to look back, because when I'm told you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about, I like to go back and say, well, I'm not the only idiot out there. So let's go to Skip and Shannon. Oops. Sorry.
Position is the reason why their numbers aren't better than what they
Let's start that over. Sorry.
But I wouldn't pay a big price.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I believe they do, because I think they need help at that position. Although those receivers might disagree with me, they believe they're open more times than not.
Sure.
And it's been maybe a play calling or maybe lack of production at the quarterback position is the reason why their numbers aren't better than what they pay a big price for them, Skip. Because it seems to me that the Raiders don't want to pay any big contracts unless it's the head coach. They let Khalil Mack go. Now they want to move on from Amari Cooper, who's they picked up his 5th-year option, which is going to be slightly less than $14 million. I believe his first 2 years, Amari Cooper went to the Pro Bowl, had over 1,000 yards as a rookie, went over 1,100 his second year. I believe some of his lack of production can be tied directly to Derek Carr. Are we going to just sit here and pretend like Derek Carr haven't just fallen off a cliff? from where he was an MVP candidate just 2 or 3 years ago, Skip? That's tied to Amari Cooper. Now, Coop, if you look at him, Skip, he'll go games, he'll have 50, he'll have 40, he'll have 200.
Yep.
He'll have 30, he'll have 50, he'll have 60, he'll have 155. And so I think the thing was frustrating to Coach Gruden is that the consistency. Where's the consistency? Well, I say, okay, where's the consistency at the quarterback position? Because normally guys that put up numbers at that position, their quarterback plays consistent. And when their remember, it's a dependent position. It's required for me to do my job. I need you to do your job. And if I do my job really well, it's normally tied to your. Now, there are outliers. DeAndre Hopkins is doing a phenomenal job before he got Deshaun Watson. Now, how he was able to do that is unbeknownst to me, but he was. And he's still doing a phenomenal job now that he has Deshaun, a quality quarterback. But for me, I would do it. I would look into it, Skip. I'm going to kick the tires. What are you asking? But it doesn't seem to me that Jerry.
I mean, they're asking for a first.
No, I give you no first. Now get off my phone. That's just long distance call too. Click. But here's the thing: if you didn't give up a first, you didn't give up a second for Earl, who's a more proven, consistent player than this guy. I don't. What makes me think now? You take a third or fourth rounder for him. Okay, you got yourself a deal. But I'm not giving up a first or a second for him.
I agree with what you just said. I sat right here and said, Earl Thomas, I'm giving a first rounder for. And I think Jerry let sort of pride goeth before the fall, but then poor Earl fell. So he's gone. He's out of sight, out of mind. God bless him. I'm knocking on wood for him. Hope he can bounce back and save what's left of his career. But if they do pull off an Amari Cooper deal, I will root for Amari Cooper, but I would not trade for him. I might give a fourth. Wouldn't give a fourth.
Really?
And I definitely wouldn't give a second or a first.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
It's funny. John Gruden is just tearing it down so he can try to build it completely back up. But he got 2 first rounders for Khalil Mack. And I'm still saying that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because Khalil won't always give you that sort of clout, that might that you saw on Monday Night Football against Aaron Rodgers. He'll have big games, and like Amari Cooper, he'll have some games that he like Amari does. Now you see him, now you don't. But let's look at Amari's body of work. He was the 4th overall pick in 2015. So if I just look at those years all the way up to date, what has he done in the big picture of the league? Well, he's 23rd in catches in the NFL. Not bad. 17th in yards. Not bad, not great. 22nd in touchdowns. It's okay, but not great. It's not 4th pick of the draft kind of production. But now we get to the 2 big negatives. Over his time in the league, for first in drops. And trust me, Raider Nation knows what I'm talking about. He will drop balls that hit him in the hands. So he's tied for first over those 3+ years with Michael Crabtree and Demaryius Thomas. Those are the 3 tied. The other stat that jumps out to me is he is tied for 210th in the NFL in percentage of targets caught. Well, that's a big stat. You know, you throw somebody a whole bunch of balls and they all the way down at 210th in the league in the percentage of how. Remember what Dez last year? He was just catching about half of the balls from him. That's not enough. Not good enough.
No.
So that scares me too. Comes and goes. Derek Carr responsible. You're right. Maybe he should share 50% of the blame for this. But I'm just not sure Amari Cooper plays with a hot enough motor to come in and change life in Dallas.
And how much? You took the words right out of my mouth. How much is he going to change? You remember, Dallas is not a throwing team. So now he comes in, and the thing is with receivers, Skip, we want to feel the ball early. I used to tell Mike, I said, Mike, come to me early. Give me one pass early. I don't care what it is. It can be a shallow cross, it can be a stick route, it can be a seam. I don't care. But just let me touch the ball early. I mean, they expect receivers to go the first half or the entire first half and don't catch a pass. And then it's like, well, what happened on the first time they throw you the ball? You wouldn't tell Tom Brady to go the whole half without throwing a pass or a running back without, carrying the ball. Just give me the ball early. And I think the thing is it's frustrating and his concentration wanes. If you don't give a receiver the ball early, because that's what they try to do. If you think about it, Skip, we're going to try and double you because we want to get you frustrated. Because we get you frustrated, guess what you're going to do? You're going to start headbutting coolers. You're going to start throwing water. You're going to start throwing clipboards and all kinds of stuff on the sideline. Now we got you.
Okay, enough of that. All right, so Listen to that. Now, I never said I want Earl Thomas. I'll be on the screaming it. I still want Earl Thomas. He still has some rehab to do on that leg and everything else, but he'll be ready come training camp. But I was not willing to give up a first round. I thought a third round was good for Earl. Now, you guys were saying, first round draft pick for Earl Thomas. But on the flip side, Amari Cooper, we'll take a fourth round. Wouldn't do anything more than that. They basically said, he's a bum. He checks out. He doesn't catch the ball well. He has a lot of drops. Now, I'd show you the clip that I had on here before, but then the NFL goes through and they basically shutting it down. But you remember that Eagle game, that 3-touchdown reception game, that game that Dak Prescott threw for 455 yards. And he caught the ball in traffic, on slants, on go routes. Hell, he even caught the ball on a deflection. His hands were literally like Velcro, like they were throwing a Velcro football. He was not dropping jack. And you've seen how he played across the middle. That guy was the best in the NFL. He was damn near perfect. So looking back and listening to these guys that tell you all the stuff that we're doing wrong, understand, you don't know. And they're not the be-all, end-all expert of everything. So as we look at the Dallas Cowboys going into free agency and we see what one guy did for this team, and make no mistake, it changed the team completely. It made everybody from Zeke Elliott to the other wide receivers and the tight ends better because the defenses had to worry, this guy can go to the house. This guy is butter. Took focus off of other guys and made their job easier. And that's the way we've got to look in free agency and say, is there a guy or two that can make that kind of an impact and change the narrative for the team? And I still believe that Earl Thomas is one of the pieces that will change the narrative and make that defense that much better. That along with a big man in the middle. So guys, don't forget, today, 4 o'clock, I've got some work to do and things. Actually, got a lot of work to do here at the house. I need to get working in my workshop on some cabinets and things. And I've got to get this place cleaned up. Some things that are going to be happening. But as always, friends, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. And I'll see you guys soon.